celebrate the joys of life and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
You know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you
Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my pimpin' shit. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today.
Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 11th episode, a very oily episode, thanks to P. Diddy, of everything that's gaming on TSWS Game. I'll tell you this, we did need 1,000 bottles. That's what I'm going to say. We did not need 1,000 bottles. I'm your host, Loke 7, and joining me today, as always, is Mr. Ham Solo 05. Ham, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine, just kicking it. Been playing a lot, or I haven't really been playing a lot of video games, to be honest, like the last weekend, because I was dealing with the whole out of town with the fam stuff and whatnot. But of the games I have been playing, still doing terrible at 2K25, still doing really bad at that game, hating it currently right now. I mean, I'm having a tough time with that game. I mean, we won the last game, I believe, that we played last night, but it was a tough time. Let's see. I've also been playing like the OG Stalker game.
Does it still hold up?
Well, they remastered it and put it onto consoles, right? Because it wasn't on there before. It was only. What up, John TJ? What's cracking? Good to see you, Vincent Vega. What's cracking to anybody else that's up in here? But let's see. Yeah, so they remastered it and put it on the consoles and whatnot. And I game share with Matt. He got the game when it launched on the console, and yeah, I've been actually really enjoying it. He's actually gone through and started playing the Metro games. He really likes those because he feels that the old Stalker game doesn't hold up the best for him, but it holds up fine for me. So I don't know if it holds up good enough. I'd be if I'm being honest, Loke, I don't think it'd hold up for you.
Yeah.
But it is a really good game. And it makes me really like seeing it, what it is and how it's remastered now.
Yeah.
Makes me think, man, like it's been so long since that game came out, right? So long.
It's been a minute.
So like I can only imagine what they're gonna do with this new one. This new one's gonna be dope because the idea and it's wild because you know Ukraine actually, you know, going through real shit, right?
Yeah.
The video game is you like pretty much being like, you know, like a lone survivor stalker person that is I mean, you're pretty much a rebel, right? You're pretty much a rebel trying to like, you know, trade and do do little missions with other rebels, and you don't like the, you know, the like military or whatever that's trying to like pretty much suppress you guys from getting the stuff that you feel that you that you and your community deserve. So you end up like befriending some people, end up not liking other people. You got your own ranking system within the world of how much people respect you. And I'm just like, yo, like that's it's super old. Like this is all old ass in this game, right? But they have all of those things put together, and to see the kind of like open-ish, I'd say open level, because that's what that game is. It's not open world, it's like open levels, right? And it's old as hell, right? The functionality of that game can be frustrating at times, but thinking of then mixed with what they could do now, it's just like it's really it makes the game really exciting, right?
Yeah.
To me, this
Yeah.
could be like, I'm not saying it is this game, but I'm just saying this could be like the 2D Mario leap to Mario 64, to where it's like that old one was pretty damn dope, but this is whoa.
Yeah, that's what the trailers tell us. I'm not 100% with you on the whole, oh, the old one holds up. Imagine what they can do now. Because the last Saints Row was pretty good, right? That came out a long time ago, and then the new one came out.
Yeah, but the
It was
whole
just about the time.
but the story was completely like but like the idea of Saints Row back when they made the old Saints Row is not the same ideology that they wanted to carry forward, right? And I feel like
Ideology is the word.
and I think this whole ideology of stalker and fending for yourself
It
and
looks good.
not trusting everybody, I think I don't really feel like you need to mess with that formula. It already worked.
Just update the graphics, really, if you're being honest.
Bro.
Same thing with Space
Update
Marine
the
2.
graphics and mechanics. The mechanics, it kind of reminds me of what a lot of people feel about like Metal Gear Solid, where it's like, man, the game is phenomenal, but the mechanics could be updated. Like, I mean, let's be real. I mean, I'm not over here disrespecting your favorite game. I'm not, but could you agree that the mechanics could be updated to 2024?
Metal Gear Solid is perfect. That's all I
Whatever. Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh my god. The
only place Metal Gear Solid is lacking. The only place Metal Gear Solid is lacking is graphics, and that is all. Vincent Vega, welcome in.
You are full of shit.
TJ.
Oh my goodness.
Appreciate
this
you,
man
Vincent.
wants to hold the X-square button to shoot, and I think that's silly. That's silly.
That's fine, Ham. You also shoot with the left trigger, Ham. Chill. Drawn TJ, appreciate you, Vince. See, I told you I'd wear the white hat just for you, bro. Yeehaw. Sour Blow, welcome in. What happened with Stalker 2? Ham? Ham was
what
just
do you
saying,
mean? What happened with it?
Oh, sorry. I wanted to continue my statement. Then Ham was saying that he's playing Stalker, the first Stalker, and it holds up pretty well. So we're just talking about like hype or excitement for the sequel. That's all that happened. Yes,
yeah, I'm just saying how like good the first one is, although it is extremely dated, and I don't think a person like Loke would appreciate it with. See, I feel like you would appreciate it if you didn't have all these other things in your backlog to play. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But if it was like Desert Island, is this a good game? Is this a good game? I'm playing on a desert island. Am I having a good time without anybody else around?
Yeah,
I think you would.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying, because it's multi-layered. It has a story that's kind of interesting. They speak Ukrainian and English within the game, and it's really interesting because you're like, wonder what this motherfucker's saying. And sometimes you can tell these people are not happy when they're talking to you and you have no idea what they're saying.
In Ukrainian.
You're right. They're just not happy. They just
Being upset is being upset.
they see you
Hammond.
running up with the gun and they start saying like something, and it sounds like they're cussing at you pretty much, right? They're like, put that shit away, essentially. like what are you doing running up on me with a gun? But I was just saying, like, with all of the stuff that they put into it way back then, that this new one seems promising. That's pretty much all I was saying.
Yeah. Arodimus, welcome in. You're such a seriously. Come on, man. Let it die. Let it die, bro.
Oh my
Come
goodness.
on, bro. That is messy. That is messy.
I mean, it's supposed to be on Amazon, right? It's supposed to be on that new show, right?
My goodness. Yeah.
I am interested to see. I'm interested to see it, right? Because I mean, now after what had happened, because at first it was a nothing burger. It wasn't interesting because the game, although was somewhat fun, the story I had zero investment in. The cutscenes I skipped immediately because that's not why I was there to play. I was only there to, play the mechanics, have a good time, shoot around. It was around the Call of Duty, the Call of Duty beta time as well. So I just wanted to shoot shit, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this whole, I mean, so like the story wasn't interesting, but now it's like after what had happened and seeing where this game is now, it's
every
like, do you even bother showing that episode?
Yes, because the money's been spent, Ham. The money's been spent. There's no backseas, unfortunately.
Do you think it could resurge?
No, I think
one episode possibly.
No, I think contracts have been signed. Like when you make these things, you sign contracts saying you're going to deliver 12 episodes. Do you know what I mean? And you have 12 episodes. So you have to give them 12 episodes. There's no backseas in this situation, in my opinion. I think they would take it back if they could. They would cancel the Concord episode, in my opinion. But I think there's too many third parties involved. If there was such a thing as like a Sony streaming service, and this was going to Sony's version of Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever, I think they'd probably take it out. That's what I think. But this is Amazon. There's no going back on this one. It's too late. Sour Blow. I'm a hypocrite because I praise Football Manager for adding player conference with no players. Football Manager is a yearly release. Metal Gear Solid is not. Football Manager is a sports game. Metal Gear Solid is a sports simulation game. Sports management simulation game. Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game that had one release every like 7-8 years. Chill, bro. Concord along with Firewalk are done. We will get to that. We will get to it.
There's more to talk about with that.
There's more. There is more. Ham.
Oh man. I'm trying to like take it easy on them. Like, I mean, it's to me, it's just like it's like when you're excited for like let's go a couple years back for college football. It's like you're excited for your squad. It's like you're Florida State, right? You're like, we're gonna make the playoffs.
Or the University of Texas.
And then you come out 0-3 to start the season, and it's like wins matter. Because pretty much if you don't just clear the entire schedule with W's, then you're pretty much
you're probably
either a back like a back thought or not a thought at all.
Yeah.
An afterthought is what I meant.
And you're not going to do like 20-0, 15-0. You're not going to do it. It's just over. So
like in college football, it's just it's 12 games, so you'd have to go 12-0, but it's just like. These schools are brutal now with the amount of talent that they can acquire. And some of these schools have been so good for like 20 years, 30 years, some even longer tradition-wise. So it's just like you like if you're a Texas or a Georgia or a Bama, if you lose a game or two, you may still have a chance because your conference is so tough. But let's say you're Syracuse or Boston College or Memphis. You could beat everybody on your schedule and then still be an afterthought to get into the playoffs, which is kind of nuts if you think about it. But when you look at the schedule, it's like, sometimes when you see the teams that some of these guys play. There's like 130 teams, man. It's so like there's bound to be some teams that have just walk all over people.
Not even worth considering. Bro Main, fifth floor, welcome in. They're getting all the smoke. Plus, I'm pissed about this weekend. I'm taking it out on Concord. It was rough. Ty, would be interesting if the Concord episode bangs. Might be the deciding factor in if the studio closes down or not.
Oh my god!
Motherfucking cap!
Wow!
What?
I love it, Ty. I love it.
What? I'm putting this on Twitter.
I love it. That is
what?
Nuts. He said
no.
The entire studio rides on this one episode. Oh.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
He said the whole mission statement is this episode. And if it's not good, then your mission statement's not good. That's wild.
What a gaming studio's future riding on one episode of a TV show. That's what we're doing. No, Ty, I might not even send you the link for today's show with the way you're bugging right now.
All right, so there's a 12-team playoff now. I know that, but the thing is now that there's even more teams that can be in the playoff, there's going to be even more teams that are sad that they didn't make it. Because they're gonna be like, hey, I went 8-2 as well, or 8-4 as well. You know, like it's gonna be the same bullshit, but just even more people feeling disrespected. And then there's gonna be teams that get in there and get blown out the first game, and high seed teams that get in there that get blown out by a low by a load seed, and you're gonna be like, how did they get in here from that top tier conference? You walk in there and let Memphis blow you out. I mean, I understand Memphis is a pretty good team, but like if Memphis walk in Georgia and blow them out, they're gonna be like the SEC, that whole 20-team conference, y'all are garbage. like if they get blown, like that's the way that people will look at them. Like real shit.
That's not going to happen though.
I mean, the same bullshit happens in the NBA too. Remember when the West was overpowering the East, pretty much?
Yeah.
And it was like if you win out East and you get beat by a team out East,
you're bad.
Like,
you're bad.
Highly unlikely, but yeah, you're bad. you're bad.
I think it was in the 2000s or the 90s. No, not the 90s, because Jordan owned the 90s.
This is definitely in the 2000s.
It was the 2000s where the winner of the finals was like 8 times the West and 2 times East.
It was during the whole San Antonio fucking Lakers.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. It pretty much happened after. It pretty much kind of happened after Jordan left the East. After Jordan left the East, the East fell off for a little while.
Yeah, we're like, thank goodness. Like, let's do this. Let's make some bread. That's what happened,
bro.
Let's do that. It should go instead of the whole studio. Come on. More likely with the Concord show, they will do a content drop, everything like they did Fallout. shouldn't there be fire Herman Hulst chants going on? Ham, this is, you guys discussed this on Friday. I didn't get to say my word because I was so triggered with all this stuff about, oh, woke this and woke that or whatever. 400 million. I'm still of the opinion, Ham, that until we get like an official leak or something solid, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that it was 400 million.
I feel like it's 400 million could be reaching. Do I believe it could happen? Yes. Do I believe it could be half of that? Sure, as well. I could believe it'd be half of that as well, to be honest.
I was okay with 200.
But no matter how you look at it, it's bad. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is, it was an extreme. It was an extreme. It was either a $250 million or $500 million. Which one is worse? I mean, obviously the $500 million, but when you're throwing the word billion anywhere near it, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
Then 15 days right next to it. That's the next part. Because this failure a year, 2 years, and it failed. We made some cash, but it failed. Bro, you guys made no money.
That's tens of millions a day worth. Bro, that's not good.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's really terrible, and it is definitely something that you gotta side eye Herman Hulst. I wouldn't be out there with my pitchfork and in my fucking in my sign quite yet saying fire Herman Hulst because I don't know what people expect sometimes. I
need to take my hat off for this one.
There's been so many times I've seen this more often than I've seen it not happen, where a company will fire after fire after fire after fire for fucking a couple decades, damn near. And they will still not be any further than they were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's just you got to give a person some time to get their feet set in. And my whole thing is it's all right, now you got the adversity. How do you react to it? What's your pivot after such a failure? Right?
Yeah.
So it's we see it all the time in college, NBA, NFL, where an organization will just continually fire coaches. But it's you look across the bay or across the the country or something like that, and this other coach has been there for fucking 20 years.
Was given the time to fail.
Good for the first 7.
Yes.
Wasn't good for the first 7, but he is in fucking control now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for the next 7 to 20 years, he either wins 5 championships or he makes it to the big dance 10 years in a row.
I mean, I understand quick success feels good, and it's probably and it's easier, to stomach. But it's just I feel like not just inside the gaming industry, but as a whole, we as people are expecting a Michael Jordan everywhere, always available. A Heisman candidate is just a phone call away all the time, and it's just no, it's not.
The lie that people perpetuate is that Michael just happened. Michael spent 8 years struggling. He had great numbers, but he didn't make it to the conference finals for 8 years. It's not instantaneous at all. We're talking about the Boston Celtics. Settle down, Soundblow. Settle down. There's some interesting conversations here in the chat, and I have to take my hat off for this one because you know I'm not someone. I'm not one of those guys that just talk shit, but then when reason is thrown in my face, I ignore. No, Big Mad Mo says something very, very real and worth pointing at, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's hear it.
So every time it's something with Sony, you don't buy it. They said 500 million for Halo, and everybody ran with it, including myself, like it was fact. But since it's Sony, you ain't buying it. Thinking emoji. You know
That's
what?
that's a very fair thing to bring up.
It's a very fair point. And I will give you half a point for that one, Big Mad Mo. I'll give you half a point because I did run with it. And we till this day, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have official numbers from Xbox. We don't. What we do have is several corroborating sources. So that's where you lost the other half of the point. Because with the whole Colin Moriarty thing, unless someone else who claims to have connections confirm this, someone like a verifiable source like Colin, unless someone else has come out and said yes, it's just Colin saying this. Ham? Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, you're fair to have your own opinion on it. I mean, do I believe one opinion or do I believe multiple people's opinion on it, or like their idea of what a fact is, or their insider that they're not going to mention says this? Like,
you know why? You know why I don't take one guy's point, even if it's the Michael Jordan of journalism, Jason Schreier. Dude, Jason Schreier wrote an article saying that the whole woke view that people had of Concord had nothing to do with the game's failure. Like that was non-existent.
yeah, that's crazy.
Like I love Jason. I love Jason Schreier. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Right? And Colin, I don't even know.
I mean, I think if you take pieces of all of these people's arguments, they have a little bit of ignorance is bliss thrown into part of it. Like you hear Colin was like when he was talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, and he was talking about or him or Jeff Keighley simultaneously talking about inflation as if that's ever something that we talk about when going to purchasing a console. Like that's just like
when it came out at the same time. It's like, bro, like, that's suspicious.
Sure, that might be a fact, but like it's just like how relevant is this?
It sounds like you got talking points from Sony. That's what it sounds like. So for me, the reason why I don't give him the full point is, on one part, he's right. When the whole 500 million thing came out for Halo, I lost my mind. But we also have to look at the fact that various publications, various reporters, various sources confirmed this. Sure, Xbox themselves haven't confirmed it, but various sources, reputable sources, confirmed it. With the whole Concord thing, it's just Colin. And for me, personally, that's not enough. If it was just Colin talking about Halo,
IGN to write about it, though.
So the next interesting comment... The next interesting comment was Vincent Vega says, rumors have GTA 6 at 2 billion, but for $500 million, you'd expect visible quality. Again, Vince, it wasn't one source. It's several journalists, several publications. Because with this whole Concord thing, everyone is referencing Colin. Whereas with Halo and with GTA, everyone's referencing their own sources. So it's like, all right, this might have some solid ground to stand on. Broman Fifth Floor is kind of going down that dark alley with
Bro,
Ty.
man.
What if
Low.
Concord series does better than the game? Is going down the alley with Ty. So let's go. Let's get crazy, Ham. Let's get crazy. Let's pretend this one episode, right? It's not even a whole
Yeah,
season.
it's just one.
Let's say this one episode pops the fuck off, goes viral. Sony decide to make an entire TV show and a whole bunch of people watch it. Can you see that future?
And I say no firmly because
I didn't even hesitate.
I think that episode's gonna do interesting numbers for all the wrong reasons.
What do you mean? Like, I can't wait to watch that episode.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
Why are you watching? Why can you not wait to watch that episode, Loke?
Because I want to see how bad it's going to be.
And what did I just say?
Views of views, dude. It's 2024. No one knows.
Everyone's gonna watch that episode. That episode's probably gonna get high ratings for all the wrong reasons. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be trending because it's amazing. It's gonna be trending because people are gonna be like, dude, there's gonna be so many people. Like, I imagine when that episode drops, there's gonna be a ton of YouTube videos pointing different things out, talking about, I can't believe they thought that this was okay. I can't believe that they thought that this could rival Star Wars or could be. This was Sony's very own Star Wars. Like J-Rock is thirsty right now. He cannot wait for this episode to drop. Like, somebody like J-Rock, post up. They are sitting. Imagine the kid at the table sitting, fork in one hand, spoon in the other, pounding the table. Like, that is how the haters right now are looking at this Concord episode. They like no one's and even if the episode is good, even if the episode is amazing, Loke.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Already failed.
What do you mean it already failed?
It already failed.
What are you talking about?
People are gonna look for everything wrong with it, then no one's gonna look for anything good about that. No one is. If I'm wrong, then I will not be mean to Loke for the entire year of 2025 or whenever the fuck this game. I'll be super nice. I'll never say anything disrespectful. I'll just say yes, sir, when I talk to him. Well, I'll just be like, yes, sir. For the entire year, if that one episode makes Concord just come back like Jesus, then I think so. I think that would be fair.
That is wild that you would say that.
52 weeks, I will. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. What do you need, sir?
You were very confident, Ham.
Okay. Yeah,
very confident in this prediction. Why so serious? How about them Cowboys? Welcome in. Why so serious? Them Cowboys got beaten. That was a heartbreaker, man. Very close. It was so close. Oh my God!
Right?
This is Vic. This is probably Vic. There's no way this is not Vic. Insidious.
Yeah.
Ham, did you watch any football this past weekend?
I watched highlights. I was really fucking mad about my Nebraska Cornhuskers because they completely blew it in overtime. Like, completely blew it. It shouldn't even went to overtime. But yeah, it did, and they played like they've been playing. It was a step backwards. But
Yeah.
I got confidence that they'll figure out things. It's a pretty young team, but it's just like, God damn it. As for like NFL pro sports, I watch mostly highlights of that. Like I watch actually like all highlights of that. New York won with Daniel Jones, which he's not doing too bad. I still don't like him whatsoever.
Jeez, Ham.
Can't wait for him
Jeez.
to get off of that team.
You
But like for right now, I will cope. We won that game. Bo Nix for the Broncos came out and looked like a stud that game. I still don't exactly trust him quite yet, but he looked good, and I do like his style in compared to the guy on the other side of the country that I just got done talking about. The Raiders were fucking an abomination. That was
We could have
embarrassing.
won it. We could have won it.
That was embarrassing.
We
You guys got sloppied up by the fucking Panthers. By a quarterback that almost retires at the end of every season. like a guy that is only not retiring because he can get a little bit extra cash, which I don't blame him on doing it. Andy Dalton out here putting the Carolina Panthers on the map and using the LA Raiders or the LV Raiders to do it, and it was embarrassing. It was pretty damn embarrassing to me personally, because I personally think the Carolina Panthers organization is the worst organization in the league. But of course, the Raiders are like, hold my beer.
Shut
Let
up.
me show you what our history is looking like outside of John Madden.
That's not as bad as
They say we're pretty cool like John Gruden, right?
Don't come here with outside of John Madden. Those are the same arguments of people that say, "Oh, outside of Activision, Xbox," saying shit. Sit the hell down.
No, I'll take it. No, that's fine. I'll take John Madden on there. You guys were great with John Madden, and that is. It's just I'm just really disappointed because when I was a kid, I was kind of a Raiders fan. I've always kind of liked the Raiders, so watching them get beat yesterday by the Carolina Panthers, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. It's like to me, it's just like I seen Daniel Jones win yesterday. I was just like, I like the Giants, but I hate that.
Yeah,
like I want him. Like it sounds terrible, but I want him to lose so they get his ass out of there and get somebody else in there quicker. Like that's what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing might be happening with the Raiders because this is like, I mean, Gardner Minshew is dope in the locker room, and he seems like a good bro. But like, I don't know. Like, if you're trying to win, no,
probably not the way to go.
No, he's not. He's not a franchise quarterback, and I don't know when the last time the Raiders had a franchise quarterback that wasn't used.
I don't think we've had one like recently. You're right, and your precious Derek Carr that you were busy touting around last week got trounced by the Eagles. And
I wouldn't say they got trounced. Didn't the Saints almost win?
Loss is a loss, Ham. Loss
is a loss. Okay, so now a loss is a loss.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now
sir.
A loss. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you were talking about Derek Carr this, Derek Carr that. Mr. Jonah Dark, welcome in.
Derek Carr is looking better than the Raiders right now.
And I told you, Ham. I freaking told you this guy. That's what he does. Derek Carr, for the first 3-4 weeks of the year, is very good.
I don't think he even did bad yesterday. It's not like he threw 3 or 4 picks or anything. They just kind of got kicked. I mean, and they kind of got running late. Like,
Watch
like
them
it's just a little too
this
late.
year.
That defense for the Saints is nasty, though, man. That shit is nasty.
You still need to score.
They've scored
What?
the most in the league up to now. Like I think they still might. They still might be the leaders in scoring.
They were number one for 2 weeks. Ham, settle down. Big Man Bo says he was blacked out and everything at the house. It got to 21-7. I took off my jersey. Yeah, man lost it. He lost it.
So yeah. How about them Raiders, Loke? That's what he's talking about right now.
Rich Gannon, the last good quarterback. We're not even talking about good. We're talking like franchise quarterback.
I mean, you guys tried to get that one guy that ended up being the biggest flop of all time. So.
Which one guy?
Jamarcus Russell, I believe.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's probably good for you.
Probably. First thing the Raiders need to do if they want to win is get rid of Locust. Dude, I'm on another continent. How am I even affecting? You know what? I'm not even going to. No. Eagles just got lucky.
Dude, the Eagles play way too fucking confident. They think they're way better than what they really are. And they need to kick in the
what's his face?
The Falcons did the same bullshit too. Like, I don't know what these teams think when they're like, "Hey, it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, and if we kick a field goal right now, we could either ice the game or make it harder for them." Or, in the Falcons situation last night, they could have they could have kicked a field goal, been down 3 because they gave the Eagles, not the Eagles, the Chiefs a 3 and out immediately. So it's like, dude, you could have kicked the field goal, gave them the 3 and out, and then tied the game because they marched right down the field again. And I was just like, why did you do that? Why did you go for it on 4th down 6 with like 7 or 8 minutes left in the game? Like, what were you thinking when you had like a 40-yard field goal available?
So who is it that's always spamming Eagles stuff? I think it's Italian clowns. He's always spamming Jalen Hurts at me. I'm telling you, dude. That's why I don't like Jalen Hurts.
It's either that or too big.
Jalen Hurts thinks he's I don't know what he thinks he is, bro. Like
he is dope, but like
this great
leader center right now.
He thinks he won the Super Bowl. That's how he acts. He acts like he
missing
won
that
it.
Kelsey brother right now. He's missing that boy, man.
Oh my God. The way he carries himself, it's like he has won a Super Bowl. Jeez.
I'm not mad at him. He's confident. Ain't nothing bad about being confident.
There's a line between confident and just grating.
Hey, there's also a line between looking lame and looking like you deserve to get paid.
Are you talking about Brock Purdy right now?
I'm talking about like if you look the part and can get enough W's and whatnot, like you're gonna look like you deserve more money than somebody that's does just enough and kicks it in the cut and doesn't really say nothing.
I disagree, Ham. I think greatness and leadership.
I don't know, man.
Either you got it or you don't. Like Tom
You're
Brady.
You're saying Jalen Hurts doesn't have any leadership? I think that's
Tom Brady. Tom Brady was not trying to be more than what he was.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is trying to be more than what he is.
Happened. I feel like he is. You know what's his face? The guy that used to say Broncos country, let's ride. What's his face? Ciara's dude. I'm forgetting his name. Who?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. I get the same feeling from Russell Wilson as well. Like you haven't really achieved the pinnacle.
He did achieve. He won 2 Super Bowls. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about with the Broncos.
Oh, with the Broncos? I mean, he's traded at that point. At that point, he became. I mean, you could say. At that point, he became no different than the dude that was at the Ravens for a long time, Joe Flacco. Like Joe Flacco got a Super Bowl. Like and then once he got traded to the Broncos or got traded to another team, he was ass. And then he got traded 2 more times, and then he finally was good at the Browns last year. Like sometimes the systems just don't work when you go to a different.
Didn't Joe Flacco win with the Falcons and the Ravens?
No, he just with the Ravens. He didn't win with the Falcons. Was the Falcons was what's his name? Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan never won. He was up in the Super Bowl 28 points versus Tom Brady and lost. That's fucking embarrassing.
All right, let's leave Matt Ryan alone. Hey, how about
Matt Ryan had a job? Matt Ryan had a job at for the Falcons for like 15 years. So I don't want to hear Jalen Hurts is doing too much, like, because I'm just like, what did he do for the Falcons other than get smoked in the Super Bowl?
Well,
smoked hard. Like at least Jalen Hurts didn't get smoked like that. Like that was bad.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
It was so bad that you erased it from your memory until I had to bring it back up.
It's embarrassing to think about it because we all thought it was over.
Dude, I wanted the Falcons to win that game so bad. I wanted them to win. I was one of those guys hyped at work, listening and watching the game. Like 21, 28. Let's go! Like Brady get out and hit the bench, suck it. And Brady was like,
"Watch this.
We hitting a few audibles right now and finna take these motherfuckers out back." And that's what they did.
Why so
they
serious?
Ate them up like some fucking like all that. Like they ate them motherfuckers. Like man, Atlanta ain't never looked so in. That entire city had to be embarrassed for an entire offseason. Like imagine playing your first game after that last performance. Like that's tough. Like, it's one thing to lose the Super Bowl. It's another thing to lose like that.
Good thing social media was not at its peak when that happened, because that would have been.
The only thing worse was the Bills when they lost 3 straight.
Not really. It's the Bills. What are we talking about?
I mean, that's disrespectful, but okay.
It's the Bills. It's like, yeah, it's the Bills. Whatever. Why so serious with some slander? Tim Tebow is better than Tom Brady. Like, dude, that's
insane.
What is wrong with you?
I mean, I was a Tim Tebow fan too. I was a fan of him in the pros, not in college. I hated him in college.
He was very hyped in college. Legendary.
That's why I hated
him. Peace, love, life. Didn't he play like several positions in college as well? And he was very good at all of them.
No, he just played quarterback, and I hated him.
I remember he played tight end in 1 or 2 games. No,
not unless it was like a special play.
All right, Bunty,
quarterback, and I hated him like a Jazz fan hated Jordan.
Yeah. You really hated him.
We weren't even in the same conference. We never had to play. But every time his game was on, I wanted to watch it, and I wished him the worst.
Damn. Damn. What did he do, Ham?
I don't
understand.
There were just so many other good players and good teams at that time, and that I wanted to like win Heisman and shit like that. And he was just so like he was so hyped, and he was the little Jesus boy and everything like that, and he did everything to make you not that made you think that you shouldn't hate him, and for me it made me hate him more because I was just like, I'm going for all these other people, and I have to deal with this fucking perfect piece of shit. Like that's how I felt. Like,
It was John Cena, Ham. Remember John Cena?
Essentially, yeah. Or for
Bro.
other people, Triple H, right?
Uh,
Dude, Triple H had fucking nasty runs, especially if you were a Rock fan.
yeah. I'm a Rock fan, and I also dislike Triple H a lot. But I've never hated anyone the way I hated John Cena. I'm just being honest. I lived in South Africa, and
I think John Cena is probably a better comparison, actually, because he brought a whole dynamic that was just like so changing after the Attitude Era.
I
It
lived
was
in
like
South
kind
Africa,
of jarring.
and I put the work in to buy a Cena Sucks T-shirt. That's how much I hated John Cena.
And that's how
Like,
much they knew you would hate it. And
proper
they made money off of knowing you would hate that shit.
game recognized game. They made their money. Jagger Blaze Alex, welcome in. Press the like button if you're new. Says 4 straight Super Bowls. Ham. Let's quickly tackle this one. Can Mahomes do it?
4 straight.
Is that something that you think he can do?
It's not 4 straight. It'd be 3 straight.
Yeah, but Jagger Blaze, I'm assuming here, is like going all the way.
4 straight? I mean, goodness gracious. Like
Yeah.
let's get through 3 first.
Like the third one's done already.
But like, to be honest, an institution is an institution, and I could definitely see it happening. It's just like that percentage is mad low. Like, I'd say where it sits right now, and this could actually be a high percentage to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably about 17%.
Damn. He's talking about the Bills as well. God damn it. This guy is salty. That's not necessary.
Man, the Bills, I don't know, man. They could like, the season barely started and we already worried about fucking Josh Allen's health. Like, I don't want to talk about the Bills.
Bills are done, Ham. Come on. Say it with me. The Bills are done.
I can't trust the Bills because they just constantly put their like I like the way that they play. They put like every game on the line like that, right? Which I love. It.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, man, like that's the reason Kawhi Leonard got championships, like because he didn't do that shit. Like he's like, I gotta outsmart these motherfuckers because they trying to kill my knees. So like he was like, I'm gonna make sure I get it in. Oh, we ain't gonna do shit this year. Our team looks garbage. I need surgery. like you know what I'm saying? Like there's a there's a different
I don't think
strategy
the Bills are gonna do
versus
much.
like I feel like Josh Allen thinks he's LeBron James and I can just power through everything, and he's not. And he's more like I wouldn't say he's more like a Kawhi Leonard as much. I wouldn't even say AD because that's disrespectful.
Yeah, like AD is pretty bad. They call him street clothes, dude. No. I'd say
I would say he's more like a who he reminds me of Damian Lillard. Where he just works super hard. He works super hard. He gets you really close. But it's just like
it's not enough.
It's not enough, and I don't think that they fully stand by their like set of people that they have. I feel like they're always kind of moving pieces around, and that's what I was talking about with coaches not that long ago, where it's just like, I mean, you got to try to get consistent. I understand getting some new people, but like if you look at like Kansas City, they evolved while bringing they look how long they had Tyreek Hill and shit like that for a hot minute, and then they also had Alex Smith in instead of Mahomes. Instead of bringing him in as a fucking rookie, they had him sit. And then on top of that, I mean, there's a lot of aspects to building longevity instead of just expecting to win now. I mean, you can have what Tampa Bay did. They had the win now attitude with Brady, right? And they got it done.
But they went and got the GOAT, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but that's what it takes, right? And how many GOATs are there?
One.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's the only reason the Lakers got a championship recently. They went. They had to go and get the best player in the last 20 years.
Yep. That's true. No cap. That's very true. And then, so essentially in the NFL, just wait 20 years, right? And then get Mahomes when he's on the back end. Then maybe you can get 1 or 2 titles. That's
I mean, yeah, if you have him, if you have him playing like fucking Peyton Manning did at the end of his career. You remember that? Peyton Manning, when he won a championship with the Broncos. When Peyton Manning won a championship with the Broncos, he was barely a quarterback. He was just like a field manager, essentially. Like, he just made sure people were in the right place, and I made sure the ball got to you. You can't ask me to do anything else. That's it.
Yeah, everyone did their job.
And everybody respected him, which made it even easier for him, right? Because if everybody respects you, then they don't want to see you get fucked up.
No, sir. I think Mahomes will still command that type of respect when he's that old.
I think he could, for sure.
Yeah. I think you could.
I 100% think he could.
Tim Duncan,
Jagger Blaze with the disrespect. Hey, man, I don't think that's crazy to say that, though.
I want to hear this argument. Why? I want to hear this argument.
Why curious. Don't I think it's crazy?
No, yeah. Why? Like
if you're just talking about just career and I mean, your preference is your preference, right? And he was unstoppable at his position.
Tim,
yeah. Tim was unstoppable at his position. He played with not just one team, but
this guy gave Shaq fits. If you can do that to Shaq,
bro put in a lot of work with a lot of different characters on his team. And he made some even teams that were pretty good. I think he made them a lot greater than they should have been.
Yeah. We can.
But I mean, saying that he's better than LeBron, I mean, if I'm being honest about it for myself, I think that's a stretch.
And if your argument is rings,
my only argument there is my only argument there for him is just like, I don't know. I guess it's just not. He wasn't as highlight really, right? But he was very respected. So it's like, I could see why somebody would say that and have a lot of arguments versus.
I would say the disadvantage for Tim Duncan, and really it's a disadvantage in this conversation, is he was never in a situation where he wasn't coached by one of the best of all time and didn't have like a proper competent number 2. That's the one thing. And I'm a LeBron hater, Ham. You know this. But Tim always had pop. In the early years, he had that other center. I'm forgetting his name. I think it's David Robinson or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, David Robinson, yeah.
And then after that, he got Tony Parker. Tony Parker balling like a monster, right? And then
Ginobili, yeah.
No, but if you pay attention to their numbers, right? There was a couple of years when Ginobili was averaging off the bench almost 25 points.
Yeah, he was nasty.
And then there was a couple of years where Tony Parker was in the MVP discussion, and he was killing it with points and assists.
We're not even bringing up side characters like Robert Horry or
David Finley.
Yeah, Finley, fucking
all the guys that came and played in San Antonio. So when people look at Tim Duncan, Jagger, I'm not saying he's not as great.
But you can say the same thing about LeBron, kind of, to be honest.
Not
Like
really,
LeBron
and
never really went to a bad team. Like
What?
the only bad team he had really was the one that he got drafted by.
And what he do to that team?
He did great things for that team, and I'm not discounting that whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, there were some pretty rough years for the Spurs where Duncan was like that guy.
Yeah.
And he still made them look good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but
you cannot say that about LeBron's missed the playoffs before.
Yeah, he did miss the playoffs, Sam, but several times he dragged that team, just like Allen Iverson. I can't believe I didn't have it on my bingo card today that I'd be defending a player I hate so much named LeBron James, right? Ham, how many times? I think at least 4 times this guy dragged those Cleveland Cavaliers to the Eastern Conference Finals by himself, just to face the Spurs. The Celtics, and lose.
Erodimus brought up a name that I want to say that if we're talking about like more of a feeling as a person that has done something and deserves it and seemingly did a lot by themselves a lot, in my opinion, it'd be Dirk.
Yes.
Dirk. Yeah. Dirk is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was 2 different teammates, I had to pick Dirk or Tim Duncan, I'm probably picking Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk was crazy.
Just because he shoots so many different types of ways and he can hit a 3. He was the modern center before it was popular.
And passing, Ham. A lot of people look at assists.
Bro,
in the documentary,
nuts.
In the
his
documentary,
no-looks were nasty.
In the documentary for the year that they beat the Miami Heat,
LeBron.
The ESPN guys actually
embarrassed them. Didn't just beat them, embarrassed them.
Yeah, they beat them bad. The ESPN guys explained like Dirk was in the top 10, right? Not for centers, but just for players. He was in the top 10 for the pass before the assist. Top 10. And there was 0 players besides point guards in that top 10. Dirk was in the top 10 for the last like 3 or 4 seasons. So we have to put some respect on his name, no doubt. Beginner, welcome in, evening both. How is Mozambique? Mormon recruiting going on? I am not joining a Mormon clan, otherwise I'd have to stop playing freaking video games. Speaking of Mormons, welcome in, Ty. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's cracking? Welcome back home.
Gracias, man.
What team in the NFL do you support, Ty?
No team. I don't know anything about American football or
that's tragic.
Not even basketball as much.
Stop while you're ahead. You're good.
Uncultured. Super chat before we close the chapter. before we close the chapter on sports today. John TJ, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. It says my Seahawks are 3-0. The new coach is good. Look, the Raiders are trash, and football manager is also trash. Lol. Hi, Ham Solo.
Hello.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm happy I got to watch all that.
Like he'll say,
and just have to say hello back.
Like he'll say all that, right? And then tomorrow he's in my chat talking about football manager. All right, it's cool. It's cool. As long as you show up, Ron TJ. As long as you show up. Ty, what have you been playing?
I'm just waiting for Starfield Shattered Space, so nothing really.
Let's go. That's like a week away.
What?
Yeah. What? I was gonna give Frostpunk a try, but there's just no point. Like with Shattered Space coming out so soon, it just doesn't make sense to try anything new.
I've
Oh,
felt like that before about some games where it's just like I just don't even see the point in starting this. I'm not going to
Yeah.
stick to it.
Yeah, especially because like Frostpunk is like a city builder kind of game. It's a little bit deep.
simulation. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like really get into it. So for me to play that for like a week and then go away for like a month or so, nah, that wasn't gonna work.
I wanted to stream it. But then Rachie and Vince kept pressuring me to get Dustborn and play that. So I'm going to stream Dustborn sometime next month.
That's the woke game, is it?
It's not the woke game. It's a game for people with culture. That's what it is.
Is that the
Okay,
game that you can cancel things?
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
sir.
shit, okay.
Peer
That's
pressure and all that. You guys thought you left that in high school, didn't you? So this whole time I hadn't said what I've been
wasn't
playing.
around in high school.
I finally finished Space Marine 2.
Oh, nice.
I pulled myself away from looking at stuff and listening to codexes and whatever, and started actually just playing the game and getting through it. This game is fabulous, Sam. I can
isn't
see.
it?
Yeah, I went at Matt's throat when he said,
Game
when
of the
he
year.
said it's his game of the year. I was like, settle down. It's not that good, but yeah, it's legit. Warhammer Space Marine 2 is a very good game. I would even go as far as saying it's a great game. It's still not my game of the year personally,
Sure.
but now I can see why people were like, yeah, game of the year right here. I can see it.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
it's a meaty game, and it has a lot. It has a lot that you can do after you beat the game, so that's pretty nice.
yes,
know,
dude.
You don't see
Oh
a
my
lot of
God,
what
so
that
good.
game provides in gaming as much, and it's too bad. Like
Yeah.
that game provides co-op campaign, co-op side missions that have nothing to do with the campaign for you to make your own kind of soldier, which is
Yes.
what we wanted in Halo. Wink,
So,
wink.
yes, sir.
And then it also then has PvE, and then they're consistently looking at updating it to keep things fresh, give you more levels and stuff like that to play. And yeah, it's just, I mean, man, like I can't say enough
Value
how
for money.
yes, it's such like when I pay $70 and I get something like that, I'm not mad.
Low key ham. I kind of feel like maybe I should have just paid for the ultimate one.
Yeah.
Because according to that table, the operations, there's more to come. It's not
Right.
just the one that we have. And I played 2 operations after finishing the game, and I can see it. I was about to uninstall it, and I can see it that, oh, okay, so I'm going to be stuck playing. I'm going to be stuck playing this in a good way, right? I'm going to be stuck playing this for a good long while. So in terms of value for money, definitely top tier in my opinion.
Because
My
Titus
game
becomes Titus becomes your like
the supervisor.
your supervisor. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Spoilers for everyone. Sorry, spoilers. Maybe someone's worried about like, does he die or whatever. So yeah, my game of the year is still Stellar Blade. That's still the game for me to beat. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
What was so good about Stellar Blade?
What was so good about Stellar Blade?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What
Thank you
was
so
so
much
good
for
about
asking.
Stellar Blade?
Thank you. Oh my God, Ham. What is
What was
wrong?
so
with
good
So
about
first off-
Stellar Blade?
First off, Ty, like these are the moments where I'm like, I'm glad I invited this guy to the show.
Oh yes, I'm happy he's here too. What's so
Seriously.
good about Stellar Blade, Lo?
Let me tell you what's so good about Stellar Blade, and let me bring Concord into it, just to start it off. It matters what you're looking at. Don't let anyone anyone lie to you and tell you what you're looking at doesn't matter. Because for you to even play a game, you need to look at the screen. There's people that consulted on how Astrobot, as you can see him down there, there's people that consulted and got paid on how he looks, on how he walks, how he jumps, how he expresses himself, how it expresses itself, whatever. If you don't like me giving him agenda, for me, Astrobot's a guy. All right. So the number one thing that Stellar Blade did for me, aesthetics. I love the way it looks. I love the way the main character looks. I love how they did the post-apocalyptic world in terms of appearance. I love how everyone knows I'm a Souls-like guy. Everyone knows this. It's my thing, right? I love to fail. And failing and then seeing the main character, the main protagonist of Stellar Blade again, so we can try again, it's fine for me. I had a good time with what I saw on the screen. So gameplay, very tight. I like the boss fights. The mini boss fights were kind of irritating because sometimes they were easy, sometimes they were very annoying and very hard to beat. But the counter, for me, some people gravitated more towards blocking. Towards dodging. I gravitated towards blocking, parrying. That's what they called it on the game. So for me, I like the way it was. It felt specific.
Yeah, I did parrying. That was the best.
It felt specific. It didn't feel like luck. It didn't feel finicky in any way. You could time it, and there was a proper cadence to it. The story, guys, the story was some basic bitch shit. There was nothing to write home about. Absolutely nothing to write home about. But the way they set up the stages, for me, the way the fighting was so tactile, it was a banger for me. And then we get to the audio design. I like the way Eve expressed herself. I know some people were like, that accent is kind of weird considering she's got an Asian looking face or whatever, but she sounded Australian, I think, or something like that. I liked it, right? I like the relationship that she has with the mechanic chick. That was cute. It was like little sister, big sister. Her relationship with the dude was kind of weird. Not in terms he was a creep or anything. It's just kind of weird, for me at least. It was very random. And then they tried to play into it at the end, Ham. I don't know if you felt the same way, Ham. They tried to play into it like there was some kind of tight connection there. If you played the game, if you played the game and you paid attention, there was really nothing there between her and the dude. You know what I mean? It wasn't even tight platonically. Even as co-workers, it was kind of cold as far as I could see it. So that was my criticism. But yeah, for me, it was my game of the year. It didn't do anything new. Oh, sorry. I was talking about sound. The soundtrack. I find myself, I still have the soundtrack saved on a specific tab for vibes on my browser. Till today, I find myself going back to that soundtrack and listening to the tracks when I'm writing an article, grinding Elden Ring, and there's no podcast to listen to. Just chill it, And for me, maybe it's not important for other people, but for me, sound is very important. And that soundtrack for me was top tier. Top tier. And yeah, there's no game this year for me that has hit all the boxes that Stellar Blade did in one game. That's why it's my game of the year.
So you're not really a story-driven guy then?
I am a story-driven guy. I need story.
I thought you said Stellar Blade story was garbage.
It was.
I didn't say it was garbage. I didn't say it was
What?
garbage. I said
So
it was
okay.
basic.
Basic.
It was
Okay.
basic bitch.
Basic bitch.
Yeah, you can have a basic bitch story, but if
Mm.
everything else is top tier, what are we talking about? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say
Like,
it's better than Bayonetta?
Is it what?
Better than Bayonetta?
As a whole?
Yeah, like in terms of like Bayonetta 3 came out. Would you say Stellar Blade is better than
I haven't
Bayonetta?
played Bayonetta 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember playing the first Bayonetta, and everyone says it's the same. Like in essence, right? It's just like little improvements or whatever. It's just like someone saying I played Metal Gear Solid 1. I think it's fair enough to say that MGS 2, 3, 4, more or less the same thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know anything about Bayonetta 3.
Okay. I'm sure one of these is I'll give Stellar Blade a try to see what the fuss is about.
It's good, dude. Well, all I'm going to say is that if you don't like difficult games, because it's not easy. People like to pretend like, oh, it's not really a Souls game. It's not easy. Ham, please confirm that Stellar Blade is not an easy Souls game.
What do you mean by that?
Because Ty is not a Souls guy. You're not a Souls guy, right, Ty?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty comfortable. I mean, it can get frustrating, but it's not gonna be like I feel like it's more frustrating if you're trying to beat it a certain way than it is actually beating it. Like, because there were times where I was like, I don't even want to get hit by this boss, and
And you made
would
it difficult for yourself.
and I kept restarting it because I got hit or I used all my potions or I used a potion. I didn't want to use a potion at all. You know what I mean? So I mean if I'm making difficulty pieces outside of the game, then I don't think the game's that hard.
Yeah, but this is coming from someone that played Elden Ring and finished it.
Sure.
And then when you talk to me, this is someone that is a Souls guy that beat.
Let me put it
Dark
this way then. If you're not a patient person, don't play it.
Yeah.
If you're patient and you'd like to have a good time with gameplay, I'd say go for it. Don't go for it for the story though. But it is but it has its interesting moments. It's just I don't know. Loka's a better promoter of that game than I am.
Yeah, I don't know. I might give it a pass. Like, I really like story-driven games. So
if you're trying to go into it just for the story, I wouldn't do that.
You're gonna have to earn. You're gonna have to earn a lot of the story because the story is not bad. It's just not as good as everything else. In the game. So it stands out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I would say play Space Marine 2. I would say get Space Marine 2. It's easy.
Yeah, I've been looking to purchase it. It's just the guys. Wait, easy mode. What makes you think I play games on easy mode?
No, I'm not saying you play it on easy mode. I'm just saying just in case there's like a skill check. That's all I'm saying. Chill.
Skill check. This subliminal jobs. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's not even what I'm saying. Oh my god. All right.
Skill check.
You're saying you're interested in it, but
nah, it's just the guys who I wanted to buy and play with, they're not interested in it at the moment. And by the time they're gonna be interested in it, Shattered Space is gonna be out. So I think I'm probably gonna give it a try next month or so. It's 3-player co-op, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 3-player co-op, yeah.
Very good.
And it looks very, very similar to Gears of War, which I had a really great time like doing co-op with my friend on that. So this looks like right up our alley.
Except there's no cover here. Don't take cover in this game. In this game, you need to actually barrel forward. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the opposite of Gears.
Yep.
No, Stellar Blade is not Lies of P hard. Like Lies of P is proper Dark Souls-ish. and Stellar Blade for me is Dark Souls Light. I thought it was easy. I recommended it to one of my friends who is also heavy like in story, and he was like, dude, what the hell is this, bro? This is too hard. So yeah.
Do you guys think that so Elden Ring and Souls-like games from software, you know, they don't need to include a difficulty check, right? But do you think it would actually benefit other developers who are making Souls-like games to include a easy mode, normal modes, etc., etc.?
Ham, you can go first because Ham's got the sauce on this one. Ham has
No.
got issues with Souls.
It wouldn't benefit. It wouldn't benefit anybody but the modern audience, and we'd see how that works all the time. So
the reason why I say this really is because if you play Elden Ring, you play, you know, games from software, you know exactly what you're getting. But I think
Right.
these other Souls-like games, there's things about them that I would actually like to play, but I don't know if they're selling as much as they should be because of this issue. So I'll give you an example of Flintlock. Some of my friends tried Flintlock and they were like, it's too hard. So they just bounced out. And they wanted a normal or / easy mode. And I can see that point of view. I understand why From Software doesn't want to do it because of, you know, this is what they created. This is how they just the way it's done things. I don't know if these other developers have that luxury of being.
They don't. They don't. You're right. They don't have that luxury, but a decision is a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, we only sell wheat bread here. You would make a lot more if you sold white as well. No, we're not doing that. If you're gonna stand on that sort of business, then you know, when the backlash comes, you can't act surprised. I mean, I just think it kind of is what it is for that kind of thing. I don't know, man. I don't really like the whole idea of make this E for everyone because then it's never for anybody. I like having things, you know, like would it be cool if they gave if they made a game that did have an easy mode? Sure. I think that should be more talked about. Is instead of asking them to make the game that they want to make differently, maybe ask them to make something else that caters to what they do well, but is more on the side of chill. Maybe you love the world, but you just want to chill in it. Maybe there's a small team that's interested in doing that for you.
Yeah, I get it. I think there's this argument of like, you know, what's good for the bag, what's good for the audience, and what's good for just you. Like, what's your vision as a developer? And it's a fine balance. And I'm sure From Software would argue like, hey, listen, we've done it our way all this time, and people have come. Like, we don't have to change. And I would agree. I don't think they have to change for anybody, especially like with the reputation they have. It's just I'm seeing all of like these Souls-like games becoming more and more popular. Right. But I don't know if these other Souls-like games are actually popular because of Souls-like games. I just think From Software games are popular as a whole, and that's just it. I don't know if I'm wrong on that statement.
I agree, and that's why I was telling Loke that like I feel like too many of these kind of games are coming out, not because it's a bad or because it's not my favorite genre, but it's just because I get nervous about seeing the same, like it's almost like, you know, you watch basketball or you watch football or you watch soccer and you see each team running the same play. You're going to be like, once somebody figures out how to switch it up or something like that, you guys are screwed. And that happens all the time. And that's how sports evolves is, you know, somebody figures out a different way to go about the same thing and it works. And that's what I get nervous about with a lot of these Souls games. It's like sometimes I don't think they go out of their way to set themselves apart enough to warrant the kind of things that you're talking about where they like won't do a easy mode or something like that. And it's like, well, like you can't be surprised if you don't sell a whole lot because you're already like kind of copying and pasting somebody else's, but you're just not as popular. So I 100% agree that I don't, you know, like sometimes you're putting yourself on the hot seat for no reason.
Yeah.
And maybe you could work your way to being notable like a FromSoft or something like that. But then again, if you have the, you know, the wherewithal to be like, hey, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm not moving, then good luck. It's almost like a normal business tactic, right? You know, like it's easier to, it's probably easier to copy a lot of people and make a quick buck, but at the same time, it's then it's a lot less sustainable usually. Because if you're copying it, then there's other people copying it. But if you do your own thing and then it doesn't pan out, then it sucks. But if it does pan out, then then everybody else is biting you, but then you're the leader.
Yeah.
It's like watching Square Enix, man. It's like a fucking train wreck. They went from the trendsetter to following trends, and now look at them.
Yeah, Square is a very tricky one because I just don't really know with them. Because I don't mind them obviously becoming more action orientated with Final Fantasy and these other games. You know, it makes sense. Listen, you got to make money, so you got to look at what the audience is, and you could probably make a good argument that you know, that a lot of Final Fantasy sales comes from the West as well. And when they see the West is moving towards you know, games like The Witcher, Assassin's Creed, sometimes you gotta take note of that. So I don't blame them too much for following certain trends. I mean, it's kind of what we expect, though. You know, if a platformer does really well, maybe like a Mario game, you can even see in Astro Bot, like it's taken from Mario, it's taken from other popular platformers out there. So I don't blame them too much. I think I'm just confused how, you know, are they in a situation where they keep overestimating the value of the games? Why is it every time all these games are not in the situation where they're making the profits that they should be making? And before I used to give them the benefit of the doubt and just think the games were not doing well. Now I just don't know if they're just overreaching. But yeah, I take your point.
I won't be commenting on the whole Souls-like thing because we've been through this, Ham, and I'm not trying to provoke you today. No, I'm not trying to get into it. Whoever wants to play Souls games, play them. If they keep making them, they'll keep making them. If they stop making them, it is what it is. We tried to wait a bit, but it looks like Oshus isn't going to show up. Let me see if he said anything in the DMs. All right, Oshus is probably busy with Graft today. So let's get into it. Where is it? Here it is. Wario confirmed the PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah, tomorrow, right?
Apparently it's tomorrow. PlayStation State of Play confirmed for tomorrow, September 24th, 3 p.m. Pacific. News and updates on more than 20, count them, 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 games from studios around the world, 30 minutes long. Thoughts, gentlemen?
So it's like it's a little over a minute a game, potentially. I'm definitely excited to see what they got. To be honest, I mean, come on now, get that out of there. Get that out of there. Scroll back up to the goddamn tweet because there's something I wanted to point out. Like
that was funny. Come on.
Wow, you so disrespectful for no reason. But like, I get a little nervous though with some of their state of plays, especially as of late, because I just haven't really seen a whole lot from them personally, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of like new working stuff. And they already told us earlier this year not to really expect anything like super nuts until what was it, Q1 of next year?
Yeah, Q1 or end of Q1 next year.
So it's just
In
like
terms of releases, Ham, because maybe they could start now talking about trailers and stuff. But in terms of
Sure.
releases, they were talking
Sure.
about end of Q1.
right. But we're also like several months away from that. And I don't know what their plan is, and that's what kind of has me excited, is I don't know what their plan is. And I don't really know what games are really coming there because they haven't really advertised anything personally. So it has me excited, but the last couple times I've been excited, it's kind of been a meh. And they've already kind of warmed us up to the idea of remasters. That being, as of recently, talked about Days Gone, which doesn't need to be remastered. That game looks great. I'm just not a big fan of it. And also Horizon Zero Dawn, which definitely doesn't need a remaster at all either. And that's the only thing that kind of has me worried about it, is just the idea of more things that I'm not that excited about just because they want to sell the PS5 Pro and have the like the letter that or the wording on the side that say PlayStation Pro enabled or something like that. That's kind of what I'm worried about. I also don't want them to spend too much time talking about the PlayStation Pro if what they showed us is all it does. If you're going to talk about the PlayStation Pro right now, I want them to talk about something new, a new game with it, or something that can do that this can't, that they didn't talk about in the last thing. But I really don't want to see this State of Play come out and we're seeing Last of Us again.
One more time, one more game.
Yeah, like come on. Like I just don't want to see the same stuff we've been seeing. But more likely than not, we probably will see some of the same stuff. I mean, Xbox does it, Nintendo does it, PlayStation's gonna probably do it. I mean, I don't know how many times we've watched an Xbox showcase and they showed Sea of Thieves, and I'm just like,
okay, settle down with the slander, because they did show Sea of Thieves, but right next to a whole bunch of bangers.
That's very true, and I'm wondering if they are gonna make that tone kind of change of, here's something that you've seen before, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden, boom, because you're right. This last showcase that Xbox had, it was like
that was wild.
Any down moment was shoot out the way really quickly.
Yeah. And was replaced by like very, very high moments.
I mean, this is, to me, I think this should be good. And why I think that in particular is because this is around the whole 30th anniversary thing, right?
Dude, when I saw that console, Ham, I might get that console. I was like, no, the PS5 Pro, I'm not sure. When I saw that console, or maybe I'll just get the controller. But when I saw that console, I was like,
If they made it actually look like, if they made it actually look like the original PlayStation, then I would get it. But I don't want to just get the same color scheme as it.
I don't think the insides can fit though. Can the guts fit?
Even if it was bigger, even if it was a little bit bigger, a little bit more chunky, I like.
Oh, you want a big girl
with a pop top disk drive? I would buy that. I would. That I would buy. Yeah. I mean, they're taking the classic feel further, but giving me today's graphics and stuff like that. Fuck yeah, I'd do that.
Put in old territories.
What's that?
Oh, they're not selling the PS Pro, the classic thingy in all territories.
Oh Lord. Well, there, you know who is selling it in all territories? Scalpers.
It's probably not going to get to Mozambique, dude.
You'd be
And
surprised.
I'm not buying.
How much
off
money you got, bruh? make it happen.
No. Ty,
Throw
you've
in
been
a
quiet.
free disk drive.
Well, you saw that. Give me $2,000 also. throw in a free-
Hey, by the way, what are they gonna do if you need a disk drive to it? Like, is there like another like sticker that comes with it that you can put on the disk drive?
What are we talking about? The PS5 Pro?
Yeah, well, the 30th anniversary edition. If you have the disk drive, is it gonna look completely? Is it gonna look like the
I think
the
it's just going to
weird-
be white, dude. Yeah,
Huh?
it's not just going to match. I don't think it's going to match. I don't think they made the thingy for the disk drive as well.
That's a color error right there.
Yeah. It's a lost opportunity. Ty,
What's up?
PlayStation State of Play and the anniversary.
Oh, and see, Mike Johnson answered my question. He said it is coming with the disk drive cover. So there you go.
Okay.
I was wondering
Okay.
about that.
All right, go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I think listen, whenever there's gonna be a show, some kind of showcase, whether it be Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, always get excited. I mean, why should people be angry at seeing games? It doesn't really matter if the games, I know for you, just the idea of like games being shown is always a good thing. In terms of PlayStation, I think we're gonna see probably a lot of stuff from the Hero Project that was announced in 2019. So I'm looking at that now. There's trailers for AI Limit, there's Anno Mutation, there's Connor Valeria, Evo Extinction, Fist in Nightmare, Ran Lost Islands. So this might more be a showcase for, hey, we don't have many first party games coming in 2025, but what we do have is we have timed exclusive games like a Stellar Blade, right?
Yeah,
Timed exclusive games like a Black Myth Wukong. And I think they're going to showcase a lot of these kind of games, which is fine because these games were good. These games were bankers. They weren't your God of your God of War, they weren't your Horizon, they weren't your Last of Us, but they moved the needle. In fact, you would even say, in comparison to Xbox's 2024, PlayStation had better exclusives so far. Smaller games, but these games, they kind of ticked all the boxes, like you said, Luke. So I think that's what we're going to probably see.
Most people don't care about, is this a first party exclusive or is it a third party, bro?
Well, most
Exactly.
people don't, but if I'm answering for myself and not the crowd, then I'm telling you what I want to see.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like all this. Well, if it has, I see what you're saying, Ty. If there's a game show, to be happy that there's games available, but like I look at the last year of the PlayStation whole ass showcase, and I can't tell you. I can maybe tell you one game that I'd currently play right now from that last showcase, and that's Helldivers. What other game from that showcase?
Stellar Blade
from last year was Stellar Blade there at the actual showcase?
I don't know.
I think Stellar Blade was. I think they showed it out there as State of Play.
Yeah, I think it was a State of Play. I'm talking about just the actual showcase.
Well, this is not a showcase. This is State of Play.
Well. Regardless, you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Okay.
Like, am I crazy with what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I
think they showed
for
Grand Blue
myself. So, like,
strategy.
sure, there are games that are coming out, but even Loke says, yeah, this is a Nintendo showcase. Sleeping.
Yeah, I fell asleep twice for 2 of their showcases. That was boring.
So, I mean, it's always good that a showcase is happening for sure. Games are always.
But I think it
I'm
seems
always
like-
happy to see games. I just want to see something that I'm actually looking forward to.
Could it be a
in this
situation where we're so used to PlayStation showing off these big games like a God of War, Last of Us, Horizon. Like, I remember when they first showed off Horizon, I was blown away. Like, it was such a cool concept. God of War and all these other games. Even Days Gone, the trailer for Days Gone was really good. And I think what's happening now is we're seeing not A-tier games, but like these B-tier games, right? And maybe that's the issue right there. But keep in mind, they're probably going to show Death Stranding 2 itself. Like they're going to do at the Tokyo
If they
Game
show
Show,
that,
but
that'll make you smile.
I think they're going to show that, and I think they might, it'll be wise for them to show more gameplay footage of that, especially on the PS5 Pro. So I think, listen, this will be a decent showcase. Like it's going to be 20 plus games. That's good. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, there's no
There will be
complaints
10
there.
VR games.
Well, even if it's going to be VR, I don't think there's going to be that many VR games, right? But even if there is some VR games, I mean, it's still a segment of the PlayStation fan base and also even the VR community that's going to be looking forward to that. I think as long as we know exactly what to expect, which is, hey, we're going to get B-tier games from all these random third parties. We're going to get maybe games that look like Stellar Blade. We're going to get games like, and probably from Muyoverse, I think they're working in position on a new title. Good. Phantom Blade Zero. Do you guys remember that game?
Ooh. Yeah, people are saying, well, I was saying it was vaporware. I thought it wasn't real. And it's looking more and more real.
Yeah, there was I know some people who got a chance to play it and they said like, yeah, it's a good game. They said like
I saw that gameplay you're talking about.
Yeah. I think PlayStation might look at that and say, hey, listen, Stellar Blade was a hit for us. Wukong was a hit for us. Like, what's next up? Like, what other Eastern game is going to be a hit? And Phantom Blade Zero looks like that kind of game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they use that as a spotlight. And we can say, man, that's not God of War. But listen, Wukong was in God of War, and that did 10 million plus sales, right?
Man, screw God of War. No one cares.
But yeah, I expect to see some reveals from Capcom as well, and also Square Enix. I don't mean big games, right? I mean like the smaller titles, B-tier titles, and I think that'll be okay.
I'm just like, when I read this, I'm partially like, I'm always looking forward to an event, because an event is always exciting, especially from Xbox and PlayStation, particularly for me personally. Those are the two events that I look forward to. The Nintendo one, I'm interested, but I can catch, that later.
Yeah.
And some of the third-party events, same thing, right? Ubisofts and Square Enix and stuff like that. Like, I can usually catch those a little bit later. But Xbox and PlayStation, I want to be there right when they're talking about it. But like, reading this, like, so far I'm excited for one game that they've mentioned in this entire thing that they've talked about so far, which, I mean, 1 out of like 5, right? Which isn't too terrible, but like, and that's usually what you come away with a lot of showcases feeling, is like, I liked my 4 out of the 20 games that they showed or something like that, right? But I'm just I'm just ready for the Until Dawn remake to stop being talked about, to be honest. The Lego Horizon thing, I'm ready for that to be done being talked about. And also the Horizon remaster, Zero Dawn remaster. Like, I'm just like, those are 3 things on the top of my head that I'm already looking forward to that being done with on the show. So I'm just wondering what else is going to kind of happen. I am a little interested in what they have to show with PlayStation VR 2. I can't lie, I'm kind of interested in that and seeing what that's all about. What's cracking the Ashes.
Why do people hate these remasters so much? Like, I never
like, to me, it just kind of depends on. To me, like, some of these remasters are just too soon for me, to be honest. Some of the remasters for me are just like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Let it sit.
To me, it just doesn't. I mean, cool that you can update it. Sure, I'm sure you could. But to me, it's just like, I
was talking to a few dudes about the remaster, right? Because someone was like, "Yo, who's gonna buy Days Gone?" And I'm thinking, I could buy the remaster because I didn't play the original game. And then I was looking at some stats, right? And it turns out that 30% to 40% of PlayStation 5 users didn't have a PlayStation 4, right? Now that number might have changed, but if you think about it from a different perspective, if you know there's a large portion of your users who didn't get a PlayStation 4, then a remake or remaster makes so much more sense from a financial perspective, right?
But does it when you already updated the game to run on that console with higher resolutions? Like,
but
does
here's
it?
the thing, though: are consumers more likely to go and buy an older game that came out 6 years ago, or to buy a remastered version? I would argue to buy a remastered version.
Then what's the point of backwards compatibility, and why are they working on that then?
It's for specific people who want to play with that, but there are users out there like me, for example. Like, listen, I could go get a Days Gone, older copy for probably like $5 or $10. But if you tell me that there's a remake or remaster that looks better, plays better, I'm probably gonna go get that instead, because I want it to look better on my new PS5, right?
I don't know. Like, for me, the way I look at it is like GTA 5 came out on the 360. It got an Xbox One update, and then it got a Series S and X update, and the same thing happened with the PS3 to the 4 to the 5. To remake some of these titles, to me, is pointless. It just is to me. Like, to be honest, like I just would rather, like me personally, would I rather them make a remaster of Death Stranding, or would I rather know that Death Stranding 2 is right around the corner, or that there's 3 more years on Death Stranding 2 and I just finished 1? Like, does Death Stranding 2 or does the original Death Stranding need a remaster too now? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, to me,
No,
it's just
I see
like
what you're
some of
saying.
the time, and to me, just some of like the time of this stuff. Just I don't see enough bad with the original one, and then on top of it, some of these games, like we're talking about Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn, those have updates to those already to make it not only compatible with the PS5, but run better. Same with Ghost of Tsushima. We don't need Ghost of Tsushima remaster right now. I don't think so. To me, it's in the same realm as that, though.
Ron Slasher, thank you so much. Continue to be yourself, my brother. Do not change, Ron. Never change.
Ron can't change. He's not allowed to change. He is just too wild.
How about making the original games? I mean,
thanks, guys. How you fellas doing?
Hey, man.
Fantastic, fantastic. What you been playing, Oshas?
So RoboCop, actually, funny enough, I've been visiting Detroit City, cleaning up the streets, and The Last Descendant, and Wanted, did, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Good times.
Just a quick one. To Ron Slasher's points, where he says it's like going to the movie theater to watch a movie you already own on Blu-ray. It makes no sense.
I'm doing that.
It would be like
Matrix goes back to the cinema. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, but it would be like Star Wars coming out being like, hey, we're gonna HD remaster it now, make it clearer, and you can go if you want, but more people are going to be more interested to go see a higher definition of Star Wars than if you say, yeah, we're just bringing back the old stuff all over again.
Like the prequels, HD remaster.
The old, but if the old stuff gets and is like, I mean, just like we see right now, right? The original Star Wars you can play on a Blu-ray now, right? They're not going and getting the actors and saying, or getting new actors and saying, hey, we need you to rehearse and redo these lines because we're remaking this thing. It's going to have all the exact same content. It's just refreshed now. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We've seen that fail in TVs and in TV shows and shit like that, where they I mean, but we've also seen them flourish too, like Dune, for instance. That movie's flourishing right now, right? Complete remake and whatnot. But also think about the time in between. Like the last time the Dune movie came out was like what, the fucking 80s?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
So like now here in 2020, 2024 in particular now, a new Dune movie came out, was it just early this year or last year?
I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken.
And to me, it's like you dangled that carrot for so long now that like there's a bunch of people waiting to catch it instead of just that one person that thought it was a good idea. Now a bunch of people think it's a great idea.
Sorry, can I just ask a question? Remind me, didn't Xbox
like I couldn't imagine somebody like saying, "All right, here in 3 years we're making another Oppenheimer."
It's too soon.
That would be weird.
But Oppenheimer was awesome. But
it was. So now we're nervous. Like, what is this going to have that the other one didn't have just a few years ago? Am I going to want to spend a whole extra $70 for this version? Is it that much better than the last one? Like, I don't know.
But you see, that's the thing, though. I don't even think they're targeting you at all. Like, this is like,
I think it was.
Yeah, because I mean, you could buy it, but if you remember, like I told you,
you said the last Descendant. Oh, last Descendant.
You've made that mistake, Luke. So please don't hate on me. Yeah. I've heard you 99 say that. So that's what I did as well. I was like, yeah, like, well, yeah. I don't know why they didn't call it the last Descendant. The first Descendant is such a weird name, man.
Go ahead, Ty. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like I said, 30% of the PS5 MAUs didn't have a PS4. That's a large user base of people who didn't play those games, right? So now you could make them go buy the the previous version, but they're not really looking for that, right? Like these users are looking for new games. So if you say, "Yo, here's a remaster of a classic game that came out," they're gonna buy it.
But like, Tayo, who said they're looking for a remaster? How do they know that you want another version of a game they released like 3 years ago? Because like I get it remastering like what is it, Metal Gear Solid 3 and then making a Delta version of that. That's a PS2 game that came out like how many generations ago? Remastering it means that you literally there's so many things that you can do that you couldn't do with the original version.
Brand new
but
game.
Why would you remaster Horizon Zero Dawn? Like it's exactly to Ham's point. I mean, like they put out like updates for this game for PS5, so it can run 60 frames per second. It has 4K support. What are they remastering? And on top of that, now listen to this. This is insane. Listen to this. So the PS Pro also has features that will enable games to get upgrades. So why are you still releasing at $60 new games? Or like the same games that you've already released like a couple of years ago, when your systems can already upgrade the games anyway and you can just release patches. It makes no sense to me.
Because money is needed.
Thank you. You got to the bottom of it. Thank you. You got to the bottom of it. Big Man Mo said it in the chat just a little bit ago. He said it's a big cash grab. And that's
100%.
All it seems like to me. Like, because when you start to say, well, maybe they didn't try it before, or like to me, it's just like, okay, well, like you're just restocking the shelves and saying new on something that ain't really new. It just has new packaging.
And if I could give props to Xbox, like Xbox, at least for all their like big titles like Gears 5, the Halo Master Chief Collection, they released free updates. They gave free updates for every single game. And like, so like the whole model of like remastering is like so obsolete when you have the technology to just release an update. Like,
I think the difference with Xbox though is that Xbox is, they're coming from a losing position, right? So you gotta be extremely consumer friendly.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like they're not losing in terms of the numbers. Like they're losing in terms of like what console fanboys think is losing. I mean, like they don't have to do anything.
No, well, what I mean,
they do it because they
can see the shift, though, right? Like as soon as the Xbox One happens, Xbox becomes more friendly towards its its supporters, right? Because now they're talking to them a lot more. Because this, if you're in third place or you're last or whatever it is, like you need to try something. And you need to get this. Yeah, and you need to get these guys to support you. So you got to be nice to them. You got to give them Game Pass with a good deal. You got to give them xCloud. All these other extra features.
You don't have to do any of that, though, Ty. Kai. That's the thing that you don't have to do. You can just compete and win, which is what Xbox refuses to do. Every single time they get a chance to compete, they don't compete. So they're doing that because they want.
Well, no, because you have to build up the foundation first, right? And you need your loyal supporters. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, you go on Twitter and you have these Xbox guys making, trailers for them that they're not even making. Right?
You mean Colt Eastwood?
All these things, you have them doing the podcast. You have them fighting people for you on Twitter. Like,
it doesn't happen as much anymore. It used to be, but it doesn't happen
down. Tomorrow is the PlayStation showcase. All right, can we leave Xbox alone for 1 week? For 1 week, guys. They're not the ones releasing the $700 console. They're not the ones that came out with the dud of the century, right? The biggest failure in all of gaming. They're not the ones that did that. So let's chill. Let's chill on Xbox for 1 minute. We'll get back to kicking them right after.
To be fair, I brought up positive things about Xbox. I said that they're actually doing the right thing in terms of the remaster policy. Like, they give you the free. Like, if you play, Gears of 5 looks fantastic. Like, it looks amazing. Hivebusters looks incredible. Like, you go to any game that they've actually added those upgrades, they look amazing on the Xbox Series consoles, and they run it from 60 to 120 frames per second. And that's the way to do it. I don't get this thing of monetizing games that you've already sold to your gamers, unless you're Sony and you're in such an advantageous position that you can afford to, because your consumers are a little bit, they'll buy anything with your logo on it. You can sell them anything. Like, you can sell them like a trash can with your logo on it, they'll buy it. And that's where we are with Sony, unfortunately.
Ham, what are we looking at on your Twitter? Oh my God.
Every move I make.
Stop the music. Copyright. Oh. 1,000 bottles, guys. Did you guys think that was a bit much? Listen. I came out and defended Diddy for that specifically, right?
Dizzy.
Like,
that's how you make it feel.
No, like what he did with allegedly what he did with other people, right, without their consent, that was messed up. Allegedly, that was messed up. But in terms of him being a freak, can we agree that there's nothing wrong with that, guys?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I don't know what kind of freak you're talking about.
What type of freak. Like, there's a lot of different types of freaks, and
I'm talking about 1,000 bottles of baby oil freak.
I mean,
I see no problem with that. The only problem I have with Diddy is the whole alleged lack of consent. That's all.
Why would you need 1,000 bottles of? That's asking, since you're defending the dude. Like,
Loke can tell us why.
That Ashy, like, is his winter so hard on his skin that like he needs 1,000 bottles, like, yeah.
Because it's not just him, man.
Him and his homies are Ashy. Hey, yeah, that's a lot of homies. That's a lot of Ashy homies.
It's a lot of them, dude. Apparently, these parties had over 100 people attending, and went on for the whole weekend, sometimes into Monday. So yeah,
I think 100 people could use one bottle of baby oil. I'm just saying, I don't know about you, but like, I've bought baby oil, and I was like after a few years, I was like, where's the expiration date on this motherfucker? Like, it's got to be going bad or something. Like, baby oil is one of those things in your cabinet that you're just like, it just never leaves. Once you get one bottle there, and if it does leave, it was a rough month or whatever.
What are you talking about? It was a rough month.
Yeah, maybe it was a great month, right? But like, I mean, 5 bottles of baby oil. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. That 5 bottles of baby oil, that could last quite a bit. I mean, now if we're talking about like, we got women out here, or whatever you prefer, doing what is it called? Like the wrestling matches where they get the kitty tubs or whatnot, and they start like, like usually you use that baby oil right when you get it because you're getting it for that planned party or whatnot, or maybe you eat like even if you, I mean, over 1,000 bottles, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like wrap my head around it, and I'm thinking like, bro, that's a whole ass pool. Like that's a
Yeah.
whole ass pool full of
Yeah.
baby oil, and I couldn't imagine like accidentally coughing in a pool or something like that. Think about what's in your system now, right? Like you accidentally cough or go to wipe your face, or oh,
Yeah.
bro, come on now.
People are swallowing
What
other things besides just baby oil at those
what
parties.
what
Ain't nobody
is
worried, dude.
this?
No one is
Like,
worried.
I
No one
understand,
is
look, you
worried.
don't find a problem with it, but I kind of do. Like, I kind of do. I kind of do. Like, I
We added to
don't think you
food.
should go. I don't think you should like. I don't think you should go to prison for having
for
a
being a
1,000
snake.
bottles
That's
of
not a
baby
problem.
oil.
Which is
But
what I'm
I
defending.
mean, I think that you should be on the opposite of house arrest.
I don't
Someone
understand.
needs to keep this motherfucker from his own house.
Oh
'Cause
my
he's
goodness.
insane. You can't allow this man. I mean, because what if you give him house arrest and he's just gonna invite a bunch of people over with baby oil? You can't leave this
Lubrication.
man at his house. You gotta take
Uh,
him somewhere else.
listen, first off, I can't believe he's using baby oil because I think that's like so 2002. You know, like
Well,
now
it was baby oil and KY jelly. They found a little KY.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
other lubricants is what they said.
Yeah, I would say like I would have 1,000. Not I would have, but it'd be
Low.
more acceptable.
Knock yourself.
Like
You letting everybody know what you like.
water-based lubricant, yes. I was just like, that's so like grandpa-ish to be talking about 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And plus, it gets itchy after a while if you put too much on. It's just no.
Look,
Ty,
You seem to know a lot about this.
uncomfortable. You are
You seem very
making this
educated on
subject.
this subject. Please indulge us. Tell us
He's
more.
making this
Tell us
subject
more about the
personal.
different
Like
types.
I don't know what's happening.
whatever, dog. Ty, what are your thoughts? Is 1,000 bottles too much, or was he just making sure he had bottles for whenever?
Yeah, listen, I can't even begin to imagine how many parties you're doing on the like every week to need 1,000 baby oils. Probably too much, but he's probably just trying to make sure that he has enough for whenever he gets to some drive to start a new party or whatever. I think like you guys said, like it goes on for the whole weekend or so, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Allegedly.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's nothing wrong with having that much, right? The problem is just what are you doing with it? Well, actually, no, there's no wrong with doing stuff
There's
with baby
nothing wrong.
oil, but
Consent. The
is
proper
everybody,
consent.
yeah, is everybody,
Yeah.
willingly using these things? That's the
The
question.
stories
So
of people getting drugged and all types of stuff. It's like really bad. Allegedly, it is bad. So
I think the crazy thing is there's a lot of people knew what was going on, right? Everyone saw what was going on. The question is who is a victim and who was just like a bystander, like who's innocent, right? Because people saw things. We've
No
seen
one
that the
said anything.
Kardashians were there. Bieber was there. Was Bieber a victim? Like there's just so many questions. And even I think somebody came out recently, and one of Didi's ex-girlfriends came out and he was like, no, he used to beat up the chicks. He used to do XYZ. Now, so it means you saw something going on, but you didn't say anything. So like how do we take that? Like are you part of the problem or are you the victim as well? Like these are the questions that's going to be hard to answer.
yeah, like 1,000%. Same thing that happened with Weinstein, dude. Everyone was complicit. You had people thanking God and then thanking Harvey. And then as soon as the whole thing came out, oh, he was so terrible. He was so this, he was so that. And it's like, I don't know. look kind of sus. The feds confiscate P. Diddy's Xbox. Lube 7 took you a minute to see that, bro. I changed my name to Lube 7 just for today. Vincent Vega is the one who suggested it. Lube 7. Anyway, Oshis, what are your thoughts on 1,000 bottles?
Yeah, man. Like, I just think, at some point in time, you need to grow up. Like, why, as a grown ass man, why are you like in
What?
your head? Why do you have 1,000? Like, that's you're responsible for so many people's lives, and you keeping in your like, and of course, like I'm just mentioning this because this is like the funny part of it. But like, why would you have 1,000 bottles of lube if you know that you're doing some grown ass shit? Like, what grown ass man, unless he's like, even like, what is it? Like your supermarket, like Walmart doesn't stock 1,000 bottles of freaking like, my man, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you've got all these, like, you're in such a privileged position, and that's what you choose to do. Dude, like, it's such a waste, man. Like, his entire legacy is just gonna go down and such. And I just feel like this whole thing could have been prevented. Like,
Do you think so, though?
Ham?
Like his legacy will go. That is gonna go.
I think his legacy is stuffed, dude. Like, I think the feds have him. Like, the moment the feds come to your place,
No. I'm not talking about the police or whatever. I mean, like, with his legacy, his name within the black community. How much damage do you think that's gonna take?
I mean, people still listen to R. Kelly, so like, I mean, I'm not talking about the black community. I'm talking about just generally his reputation. I mean, people still listen to R. Kelly, and like, I've got a lot of people in my circle that still rock R. Kelly. Same with Michael Jackson. I don't think it's gonna affect how people feel about. Like, I'm not gonna stop listening to Biggie's music because, Puffy's a bit of a he's more than a freak. He's a freak and an actual convict soon. But like, it's not gonna stop me from listening to Big's music, and all that thing. But in terms of like, he was the guy that survived that whole West Coast East Coast thing, and now that's all gone. Like, he was the guy that we looked at. We looked at everybody. Like, everybody owes Suge actually an apology, to be honest, because Suge was made to be like the boogeyman of that period. Meanwhile, Puff is doing all this shit, and nobody's calling out Puff. Suge, like, I don't know how many times he's been in jail. He's been dragged. Yeah, like, I think niggas owe Suge an apology, man.
Well, I think the thing with Diddy is like, his power. I'm not saying his power came recently, but during that era, I don't know. Like, he wasn't who he was, right? And then the more power he got, then the more he started to abuse it. And listen, I think when we speak about Suge, like, he was no angel himself, right? He was quite the troublemaker as well.
The thing is, like, Puff got to sort of make himself look like the good guy in all the movies because he went to produce all those movies, and like, every single way that story is told, it's always Suge being whether you watch the Notorious movie or you watch all other interpretations, Suge is always the boogeyman, and Puff is just the guy that's dancing like, yeah, big, we can do this. Meanwhile, he's busy locking people up and doing all sorts of freaking messed up things, and he's threatening people, he's blowing people's cars up, and he just, in all the movies, he's just a dancing guy. It's ironic, but yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, take that. He's that guy. Like, nobody ever thought like he was a predator.
What was he giving that people were supposed to take? Anyways, Hammer was worse than Suge. All right.
Yeah. MC Hammer was fucking insane.
That's what the stories say. Goodness me.
I think a lot of these people are like that, but it just it matters who you are in front of the camera. It just does. Like, I mean,
I find it very ironic that both Suge and Diddy had a very similar background. Like, a lot of people think these are just like hood dudes or whatnot. These were guys. These are college educated guys. The one got a scholarship for football, and like Diddy was like doing marketing, like at like, what's the university? A very prestigious university. These are not just like a bunch of street dudes. These are very, very educated guys that went to very good schools and were around positive influences. But So it's weird to me. Well, of course that's how they've marketed themselves. But the bottom line is like a lot of people don't know that these are very well in terms of put together. These guys have got good backgrounds, like even if you look at like their family like upbringings,
They
come
had
from
fathers and
two-parent
everything.
households. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe
like
that's why
these
they
are
were
not
able to take
kids that
advantage of the situation, right? Because if
Yeah.
if you're educated and you're cunning and you know how to maneuver around business, then you take advantage of people.
All right. Jeez, that got deep very quickly. Anyways, that happened during this past week, and I hope we get some closure, especially for the people that claim that all these horrible things happened to them. That would be nice.
Well, let me tell you something right now. You're probably
Yeah.
not going to get any closure. You're probably not going to get any closure for a couple of years.
Damn. No faith in the
Dude,
system.
this isn't a random Mon Pa city case. This is a federal indictment on one of the largest profiters in music history. Like this is, and like both sides are gonna fight like crazy, and this is the federal government. So if they didn't think they had anything, they wouldn't even wasted their time in the first place. Like and then on top of not doing anything until you're sure you're having something, they're going to use an absurd amount of money just to go through on this case. Which if the feds are using an absurd amount of money, think about what fucking P Diddy has to use, because he has to fight him.
Yeah.
He's fighting for his fucking life right now. So this is gonna be like if we thought fucking Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was nuts, like this is this is gonna be a whole another level of crazy.
10. It's about to be wild with this one.
I'm just curious about all the other celebrities involved, like because he was taping people most. Isn't that the whole like one of the main like things that came out in the indictment is that he was taping and they got terabytes of footage.
Terabytes. That was wild.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if a camera is running all day, every day, then I mean that's that much memory isn't crazy. Now, if they said we have terabytes of parties, that would be fucking crazy to hear that. Yo, we got terabytes.
He's been doing it since the 90s, huh? That doesn't sound impossible. It doesn't sound impossible.
It doesn't sound impossible, right? But like, I'm just saying, like, as you've said many times, Loke, words matter. And if they say terrible, and if they say we have 100 terabytes worth of baby oil parties, that's it, just baby oil parties, then are we not like, yo, like this is just the baby oil?
Yep.
It has nothing to do with anything that happened that was dry.
When this leaks, we're probably going to have like a subsection on Pornhub of just the Diddy files.
Oh my god, I hope not.
That
sounds terrible.
An entire just subsection just for him. Goodness, gentlemen, let's sign off with our predictions for the PS Plus showcase tomorrow. What do you guys think is actually going to be shown?
I think I'll go first real quick just to get it out the way. I think they're going to show us something new because they want to make a lot of sales with that PlayStation 5 Pro. And I think they heard people's displeasure with what was kind of shown. So I think they're going to show I think they're going to show off a new game. I don't think they're going to show off like I don't think they're going to do what Xbox did and be like, we got all these, we have 20 new games to show you, and most of them are from our first. Like, I don't think they're going to do that because I mean they don't really have to. But I do feel like they do feel the need to do something right, especially after clearly not listening to people and doing what they did with Concord. Like, I don't know. I feel like they do have some sort of duty to show that they are thinking ahead properly. That's
All
all I
right.
got.
And out of 10, since Mike went ahead and gave a 10 out of 10, what score do you think you're going to give it?
I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna say 8.
8 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, because but I'm also like, I feel like this is gonna be my downfall. Is me giving it like a high score, because I do that and then I usually think the world of something and then it ends up being close to it but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm hoping and expecting an 8, because they're not just talking about things that are about to come out. They're talking about, I'd hope, all the way up to at least the first quarter of next year.
So we'll see.
We'll
I'm
see.
saying an 8 out of 10. Okay. Tai, what do you think they're going to announce? Or what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? And what score are you going to give it?
I think we're gonna see. You know what? We might see Pal World. I think maybe that exclusive deal for
Ooh,
Xbox
that'll
is
be
done.
nice.
So there's
That
a
would be
chance you
nice.
might see that there. And maybe that's why Nintendo was quick to like, yeah, we need to shut these guys down quick. You know, they're going everywhere.
On Xbox, on PlayStation.
Yeah. I think we're going to see things from the Hero Project. So that's China again. I think PlayStation's probably going to start leaning into that, because listen, after Wukong, it just makes perfect sense. Like, hey, Chinese gamers who all bought a PS5, and we got more stuff for you coming this way. So I think that's a good bet. I think we'll see games from third-party studios, third-party publishers like Capcom, Konami. So probably Silent Hill 2 again, remake. We might even see smaller games, Castlevania. On the Capcom side, you will see smaller projects like, let's say, Path of Goddess. I don't mean like, I think that is on PlayStation, but what I mean is like you're going to see these kind of smaller B/C titles that are not going to fill up a showcase, but they will probably do really well at a state of play. And that's probably it. In relation to the score, I think the score is going to depend on what you expect from it. I expect B tier, C tierish games, so I'm probably going to give it an 8 out of 10, probably.
Okay.
And that'll be that.
Okay. Oshis, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow, and what score do you predict everyone will be giving?
So I can give you the score right up ahead, like 6 out of 10. Like there's nothing in this generation that's been worth anything from these guys. So 6 out of 10. Yeah, like 6 out of, because and tomorrow you're going to see one thing. Well, you always have hope, I suppose. But like, this is my thing, right? Like tomorrow you're gonna see whether or not Sony, do they give a shit about their audience, or are they just shitting on them like Xbox has been with their audience? If these guys don't get it, if like tomorrow you don't get the announcements that you've been waiting for an entire generation, and the generation is almost up, and it's just gonna show you that Sony doesn't give a crap anymore. They know you're gonna buy anything that they put out anyway. So score 6 out of 10. What do I expect to see? The same stuff that we've been seeing from Sony up until this point. A whole bunch of random third-party things that look maybe a little bit interesting here and there. And then, of course, 1, 2, like, the remaster stuff is definitely going to be there. Probably going to announce a remaster for Horizon and Days Gone. Or, and this is such a fan bait thing, or God of War remaster of some form or sort.
Oh,
What?
no.
Ragnarok.
So no, yeah, well, no, they're gonna remaster 2018. I think, which don't ask me why. I like look.
Oh.
I would be happy if they went and they remastered the original God of War, like from 2006.
The first 3.
But I don't think they're gonna
first
do
3
that.
would be
I do not think they're gonna do that. I don't think that's where they are. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm expecting. But like, really, for PlayStation fans, this is a moment. This is a turning point in history. I mean, if what Sony does tomorrow, if you guys do not sort of like look at that and sort of like understand where the direction of the company is going after tomorrow, then nothing will Sony has you. Like you guys will just keep supporting whatever they do. So I'm very cautiously optimistic in terms of like what to expect, but I don't expect anything incredible. It's just going to be a showcase where they're going to show you Last of Us 2 on the PS Pro and a whole bunch of other games, and then like how better they look now, and with all the that you're going to get exactly what you've been getting the last 4 years.
I don't even
Nothing
completely
more, nothing
disagree
less.
with them. Like, I'm just trying to be hopeful. My answer was sheer hope. Osh's answer sounds a little
Realistic.
bit more realistic.
And
I mean, that's what they've given us, both companies. That's what they've given us this last generation. Like, there's just very little to be excited about, unfortunately. But yeah, it would be nice to be. If I'm surprised and it is an 8 out of 10 show, I'll be happy because it shows that at least they still care about their audience. To me,
I'm
this
hoping
thing of
so.
like not caring about your audience is just such a disconnect, man. Like, stop awarding people that don't show you, like companies that don't give a crap about you. Stop giving them money. Like,
I
wish
feel like
people
this is
would.
very loaded. Don't you think? Like you're being a bit too harsh on PlayStation here now.
No, I'm not. Like, what has PlayStation done for its fan base, dude? This whole generation. I don't think I am.
Stellar Blade.
Cellblade, Black Myth, Wukong, Grand Blue Strategy.
Those are not PlayStation games. The only reason those games,
Aye.
like your competition, doing nothing.
No one cares. No one cares if a game's a PlayStation game or not, bro.
But
well,
we
I
do,
think
and
people
that's what
care.
we're
People
talking.
care.
But we do, and
Let's
that's
not
what we're
pretend they
talking
don't.
about right now. Like we I understand, and here's where I'm coming at, Loke, is like we always say that most people, like we understand most people, but at some point we gotta be who we are
Yeah.
and just say what we think instead of what most people think. Because we always
don't
say
I don't care if a game is a PlayStation exclusive or not.
That's
that's not the point,
that's
though.
fine, but that's fine, and I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that you should exactly, but what I'm saying is, like, it's kind of interesting how nobody cares for one side, but then the other side it's shoved in their face until then they don't have it, and then they don't care either all of a sudden. And so I can see where people come up with that ideology. I'm not saying I'm 100% behind every single ideology, because I think some of these people are just like a little over the top with it. But it does say, I mean, if we're gonna sit here and say exclusives matter to some degree,
Yeah,
then
to
we
us,
have to then we have to acknowledge that the other side matters too.
Exactly. I agree completely with him. Like, I mean, like this is Sony's promise to us, is that, you know, we're the single player first party company. Like, I mean, and then my thing with them is that they've let their people down so badly, like with games like, you know, with Concord. And like another thing that's happened is that, like, as gamers, we're paying more for the same stuff than we did last generation, and we're seeing less of a leap, and there's less quality in terms of what's being offered, what we're getting. So at
The
what
games
point
are
in time are
costing
we
more
going
to make, though, right?
That's not our problem. I don't run a studio. That's your problem as the studio head, unfortunately, Ty. Like, I don't care. I'm a consumer. You should worry about that stuff. You should worry about what I need. I shouldn't be worried about, like, whether the problem is when you incentivize
That's not
companies for
That's
giving
crazy.
you nothing. Stop incentivizing companies for giving you the bare minimum or overcharging you. We should have long questioned the fact that prices, I don't care about inflation. Like, we come from 2009 where we've been through this stuff before. Like, at what point in time are we absorbing the cost for the studios, for the Sonys and the Microsoft? That's not my problem that you have to pay more for hardware. And we need to start treating them that way and stop babying them. Like, it's not, you figure out your stuff. I will decide whether or not I want to spend my money on your product. Simple as that. And this whole generation, we've just been babying these companies. And I think enough is enough.
Passionate.
I love
Big
it.
Metal
That is
says
amazing.
get GTFOH. It's always about Xbox Studios when it comes to Xbox, but when it's Sony, oh, it doesn't matter.
That's
Listen,
very true.
maybe you're talking like Ham, which is right. You're addressing the narrative around other communities and whatever, which is fair. Which is fair. You can do that, but I'll just speak for myself here. I bought Space Marine 2 on Xbox. I don't care that it's on PlayStation. And there's other games that are on Xbox, and I don't care whether they're first party exclusive or not. And I feel the same way about PlayStation. So I don't know if this comment was specifically to me, Big Mad Mo, but as far as I'm concerned, I think I've been consistent. As far as I'm concerned, maybe I haven't, but as far as I'm concerned, I've been consistent on that. I just want good games, which is why I'm jumping to PC, because PC has all the games, and I get to keep them no matter what generation I'm on. I don't have to worry about, damn, this is 2 generations back. I don't have access to it. I now have to buy Metal Gear Solid all over again. Oshis, did you get to give us your score?
6.
What's that?
6 out of 10. That's the first thing I
Six
said.
out of 10.
It's gonna be between a 4 and a 6. Like between the 4 and the 6.
Oh, you have to pick one. Come on. Everyone else picked one.
4.
Where your cojones? Where your cojones?
Damn,
4.
he lowered it to a 4
like
now.
and again, because I'm just so angry at like the substandard delivery of product. Like, you guys are supposed to deliver a product to your fans, but you're concerned about everything and everyone else except your core fan base. Man the fuck up and start giving the people what they want. Like, everybody has made it clear we want more games like Space Marine, but you guys are not giving. You're giving us Concord. Who freaking asked 400 million for Concord? Why is no one angry about that?
I did. I asked for Concord. That's why I didn't even install it on my console.
But that's my thing.
Mike-
Is that, like, we need to start being upset and saying, you know what, we're not going to support you if you keep giving us this garbage
We're
that no one
already
asked
doing
for.
it. We're already doing it, dude. No one bought
Yeah,
Concord.
that's what happened with Concord.
We're already
Nobody
doing it.
supported
Relax.
I want to see it with Veilguard.
People not.
Why
we're
you
not-
want
we're
to see it with Belgar?
we're
We
not-
ain't
not
played
gonna-
it.
Because he's
No.
a troll. That's why.
We're not going to stop
ain't
buying
played it
games
yet.
because you don't like them. All right. Mike says, question for the panel: when was the last time Xbox first party game got Game of the Year? Mike, I would have been with you a couple of years ago. I would have been with you, and amen, brother. But Jeff Keighley, for me, shot all the legitimacy of that award with 2 actions. Hogwarts Legacy got 0 nominations. You're either here because you're trying to push an agenda, or you're evaluating the best games, right? Second, as soon as the PS Pro comes out, this guy is out here like the marketing agent of PlayStation. That was sad to see. So no, this is not a valuable. It's not a valuable like question. There's no legitimacy to the Game Awards, and I'm the guy on TSWS that's always been championing it. People were trolling me from Cozy to Matt to Ham, like, dude, this is not really legit. And I'm like, no, Jeff Keighley is impartial. Jeff Keighley is impartial. I look like a damn fool. So no, don't ever bring up the Game Awards as a legitimate source of grading a game, at least not on TSWS. Question for the panel: when was the last time an Xbox game lasted 12? Listen. You're not as funny as you think. All right, Big Man Mo.
Come on,
Slash
man.
Ron gives it 4 bottles out of 4 lube bottles out of 10. Concord is old news, dude. Concord is legendary news. 12 days, 15 days. I'm sorry, dude. It's going to be a bumpy ride. If you think people are done talking about Concord, honey, you've got a big storm coming. No one is angry because the industry is in Sony's pocket. Here we go with Jeff excuse. Oh, it's an excuse, is it? Those are the PlayStation Fan Awards. Yeah, 100%. Ham, you're next. The name is Jeff. Jeff was at the PlayStation Freak Off. Sorry. Jeff was the clown
Oh
when he
shit!
If there was a PlayStation freak off, he would be there with Kojima, Baba, with the oil,
Yo,
with
no,
that.
no,
Who's the chick
no.
that was
Leave
busy?
Leave Kojima out of this. Leave Kojima out of this. Concord doesn't exist. It's out of circulation. No one's playing it. It's gone. Bro, allegedly, 400 million buckaroos. Even if it was just 100. Even if it was just 100 million. 15 days, brother. Brother, anyways, let's get to the plugging section of this one.
Man,
Pause.
this
No,
game
it-
didn't even make training camp. Like fucking.
yeah, it was that bad. It didn't even get registered for training camp, dude. Oshas, please plug your stuff. Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm almost done. I'm working on some content. I'm working on a channel. So it's gonna be Oz the Wiz. That's going
Let's
to be the name.
go. Let's
So it's
go.
gonna be up soon. Like I've got like set it up. It's just a matter of just finishing some editing on some videos. But yeah, and aside from that, I am also on Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook at Xbox Players South Africa, South Africa's biggest Xbox fan page.
All right, good stuff. Tay, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Taye Talks, TAYETALKS, and that's the same for Twitter as well. Yeah, I'm looking to drop a new video, probably something on Starfield soon with Shadow Space coming up. So if you're interested in RPG/Starfield, just head on over to the channel.
I don't believe in stealing, but if I could steal Taya's voice, I'd hop on a plane, get a visa to Ireland, and rob this motherfucker. That's what I would do.
Just get AI to
Gracias.
just record it with AI and replicate.
I want it for real, dude. I want it for real. I'm going to jack his straps. That's what I would do if it was possible to steal people's voice. Ham, plug your stuff, brother.
I just realized that like my internet was down almost as long as the entire lifespan of Concord.
That's fucking
I'm just that's just kind of crazy.
that's messed up, man. That's hard.
That's kind of crazy. But yeah, back on my bullshit here on TSWS Gaming. Loke will be on tomorrow. But as for me and my own shows, this Thursday I should be doing a Behind Them Sticks episode. If not, I'll be doing college football. But I'm supposed to be having a developer join me not tomorrow, but on Thursday for Behind Them Sticks. He has a game that he's working on. I'm trying to get it pulled up here, just so. Yeah, right here. His name is VK Samheath. He's an indie game developer for Born Monkey, and he has a new game coming out called Occult. And it's already available to check out on Steam. I should be talking to him this coming Thursday, 7:00 Eastern. I'll have everything put oh wait. No, actually no, it's 5:00 Eastern. He asked me to do it a little bit early. I'm looking at the notes that we went through. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing on Thursday, and then Saturday my wife will be playing some Halo again. So we're back on our bullshit.
Good stuff. Big Mad Mo, 2 days of manager this week. I think I mentioned that maybe I would do that last week if Ham's internet was still down on a Thursday. But because he's doing bullshitting this Thursday, I'll probably see if I can do
Behind
the football manager stream on Sunday and make it a bit longer.
There you go.
Pause. Because size matters.
Gonna get his lubricants ready.
Let's go. Let's go. My 3-4-3 formation is coming. No maybes. Oh my goodness. All right, Sunday. But I'll have to start much earlier on Sunday. Already missed 3 days. God damn. This man taking roll call. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for caring. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. Drawn TJ. Appreciate the super chats. Everyone else, thank you for the comments. The legendary Yobi, Big Mad Mo, Vincent Vega came in nice and early. Ron Slusher with the messiness. Mike Johnson still coping for PlayStation. Who else came in here today? Sunrash talking about they need 400 million. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Oshus, as you can see him here in the chat. Ray Chi, appreciate you, brother. Sir X-Man came in here for a minute talking about blah blah blah. Thank you so much for coming through. If I haven't shouted you out, I'm very sorry. But yeah, thank you to everyone for coming through. We do this every single Monday. It's called Everything Plus Gaming. We talk about, as you heard, we talk about everything plus gaming. So from Diddy to movies to football to video games. That's all we do on Mondays. Tuesdays, I do a 2-hour minimum Football Manager stream. Right now, we are managing FC20 on Football Manager 2024. Going with the 3-4-3. Formation is still not clicking, but we started the season off with a win. We started well. Wednesday is the lowdown with me and Ham Solo talking about video game news. Lots of stuff to discuss, including, obviously, our reactions to the PlayStation State of Play tomorrow. Thursdays, Ham Solo does his college football stream. Who are you playing for this season, Ham?
I got Wyoming, or I mean, like I said, I'll probably be doing Behind Them Six this week. But like when I'm playing football, it's usually I'm playing as Wyoming with Antonio Brown as head coach.
Good times. Fridays, every single Friday, we do Behind Them Sticks with the whole crew.
Bullshit. You messing everything.
Sorry. My bad. Bullshitting. With the whole crew. Me, Ham, Cozy, Matt, Mental 9R, and a special guest or two. Saturdays, as Ham already mentioned, Kalala plays Halo Ranked on TSWS. Make sure to come through. She is very good. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the Football Manager stream. Ciao.